I feel as though I've just I've just got life all backwards. For me, I've not been living right the way I need to, and part of that is living as though people give a shit. My accomplishments, the things I do right, the things I don't do right. The ultimate reality is that the more the more times you do anything wrong compared to the times you do anything right, that's when people notice. They only notice when you're having a shit day. They only notice when things aren't going right. And I need to realize that nobody gives a shit. Nobody, absolutely nobody gives a shit. And I need to give up this idea that people actually give a shit, because they don't. Most people in life, I've realized, whatever whatever I'm doing, if I'm going out for a run, if I've got a certain routine in my life that I'm happy about, if I've accomplished something small or big, nobody cares. And ultimately, like, people, and I think this is just the way we're programmed. We ultimately are selfish. You know, the things that we're happy about, we put ourselves first. We're programmed just to put ourselves first, our emotions first. And most of the time, if something you do doesn't align in their day, if someone is feeling sad, you know, if one of your friends is feeling sad, or whoever, but you've got good news, and you've got great news. You, they're sad. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about what you've got on, because the only important thing to them right now is that they're sad. They can't put anything aside. They can't put the emotions to a side and just be glad for you. You know. So people ultimately are programmed to be selfish. That is a given. It's a fact. So I really just need to just live more selfishly myself. Don't tell anybody what I'm doing. And really, I feel like that is probably one of the best ways to actually live. To not really share anything. To not tell anybody where you're going, what you're doing. You know, a lot of my problem is that I talk too much. I announce things too much. Nobody cares. Nobody cares where I'm going. Nobody really cares what I'm doing. They just don't care about me, and that's just how it is. So if nobody cares, then I'm more free to just do whatever I want. Like, I took a shit today. Nobody cares, and rightfully so. Like, everybody takes a shit. You know, it's not something to, like, feel accomplished over. But I could just say anything, and it's like, okay, nobody cares anyway. You know. But I am gonna be more quiet. And kind of like I've just been deciding what to do with this YouTube channel. And I know it's going to be a lot. I have got a long way right now for me to get it going. And I know I'm in the beginning phase, and in the beginning phase, nobody really gives a shit. I've got like 12 subscribers. I'm not that big on YouTube. I've got I film from I film from my phone. I've got a phone camera, nothing special. I don't put any special effects on my videos. I don't have any fancy opening. It's just me filming myself. So, these days it's so competitive, So many people have got their own intros, their own sort of like branding for their YouTube channels. So I don't blame you. I really don't blame a lot of people looking at my videos and thinking, well, this is just some guy filming himself with a phone camera. Like, there's so many people who do that, and yeah, so I completely understand. I am just one in a million new people who do this, but it's not so much my actual equipment what makes my channel. My channel. It's me. The content, you know. But yeah, I need to stop being more selfish and just learn to not give a fuck because nobody really gives a fuck. Well, in one way or another, we are all selfish, and that's my point. Nobody's the same. People are people. There'll never be a day when people aren't people, and unfortunately, human nature is not the best, and there's a load of animals out there in the world where they have a better structure to their society than we do. So, yeah. But that being said, I'll see you in the next one.